إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدًا عبده ورسوله صفيه من خلقه وحبيبه بلغ الرسالة وأدى الأمانة ونصح الأمة وكشف الله عز وجل به الغمة وجاهد في الله حق جهاده حتى أتاه اليقين. اللهم اجزه عنا خير ما جزيت نبيا عن أمته ورسولا عن رسالته. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. أما بعد فإن أصدق الحديث كتاب الله وخير الهدي هدي نبينا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار. Dear brothers and sisters in Islam, when we look into every single type of transaction, there is always two sides. There is a seller and there is a buyer. And then obviously the transaction itself. So when it comes to dealing with Allah Azza wa Jal, it's a transaction also. And what Allah Azza wa Jalla told us and what the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam told us is that we, the human being, we are the sellers. And what sold that we'll mention two inshallah. The first one is in Surah Al-Baqarah. Allah Azza wa Jalla says, بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم ومن الناس من يشري نفسه ابتغاء مرضات الله والله رؤوف بالعباد. And amongst people there are those يشري أي بمعنى يبيع. The meaning of يشري is sells. Amongst people there are those who sell themselves seeking the pleasure of Allah Azza wa Jalla. نسأل الله أن نكون منهم. We ask Allah Azza wa Jalla to write us amongst them. And then Allah Azza wa Jalla says, and verily Allah Azza wa Jalla is kind towards the servants. And according to Hadith Abi Malik al-Ash'ari رضي الله عنه قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم الطهور شطر الإيمان والحمد لله تملأ الميزان وسبحان الله والحمد لله تملأان أو تملأ ما بين السماء والأرض والصلاة نور والصدقة برهان والصبر ضياء والقرآن حجة لك أو عليك كل الناس يغدو فبائع نفسه فمعتقها أو موبقها. Here is the second hadith, authentic hadith in Sahih Muslim. The Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says towards the end, he said sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, كل الناس يغدو, all mankind, all people, يغدو meaning goes out in the morning seeking the provision of Allah Azza wa Jalla. فبائع النفس, بائع اسم فاعل which is seller. So every human being, every morning is a seller. We're all sellers. And we love business, you know. However, the seller will be two types. No more than that. One, he said sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, كل الناس يغدو فبائع نفسه فإما معتقها أو موبقها. معتقها meaning he will save himself. He will save his soul. How we do that? Only one way to do that. When we sell our souls to Allah Azza wa Jalla. You see, Allah Azza wa Jalla said, وَمِنَ النَّاسِ مَنْ يَشْتَرِي. And amongst people, meaning not all the people sell themselves to Allah Azza wa Jalla. There will be others who will sell themselves to multiple things. Devil, shaitan, nafs, hawa, you name it. But the successful one is the one who sells himself or his soul to Allah Azza wa Jalla. Because Allah Azza wa Jalla is the buyer. He's the other side of the transaction. We are the sellers. The buyer could be the devil, the shaitan, the nafs, the hawa, the desire, the vain desire, all of that. But we as believers, we have to make sure that we sell ourselves and our souls to Allah Azza wa Jalla. Allah Azza wa Jalla says in Surah At-Tawbah, إِنَّ اللَّهَ اشْتَرَى. Verily Allah Azza wa Jalla purchased, which makes him the one who buys, مِنَ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ أَنفُسَهُمْ وَأَمْوَالَهُمْ بِأَنَّ لَهُمُ الْجَنَّةِ. This is what happened, brothers and sisters. When you sell yourself to Allah Azza wa Jalla, you're aiming high, you're aiming for al-Jannah. And now we have a seller and we have a buyer. And Allah Azza wa Jalla calls that transaction bay'. Towards the end of the same ayah in Surah At-Tawbah, number 111, he said subhanahu wa ta'ala, فَاسْتَبْشِرُوا بِبَيْعِكُمُ الَّذِي بَايَعْتُمْ بِهِ وَذَلِكَ هُوَ الْفَوْزُ الْعَظِيمُ. When your transaction is with Allah Azza wa Jalla, indeed, rejoice over that prosperous, successful transaction. Because Allah Azza wa Jalla will reward you with Al-Jannah. And that's what we were created for. Not for this dunya, for the hereafter. And what's in the hereafter? Either one of two places, Al-Jannah or Al-Nar. نسأل الله أن نكون من أهل الجنة. Amen. We ask Allah Azza wa Jalla to write us amongst the people of Al-Jannah. Now, we established that it's all about that transaction that takes place every day. We are the sellers. The purchaser is Allah Azza wa Jalla. And the transaction will definitely take place. How can I take advantage of those transactions, brother? Simple. Because we have the answers in our deen. If it's not in the Quran, it's in the Sunnah. Our deen is complete. Our deen is perfect. So it must be answers out there. Allah Azza wa Jalla invites us to that answer. He says subhanahu wa ta'ala in Surah As-Saff, Ya ayyuha alladhina amanu. Now he's addressing us, not all the people, who you who believe. هل أدلكم على تجارة تنجيكم من عذاب أليم. Who you who believe. Shall I inform you about a business, about some type of exchange, a trade, commerce, that will save you from a severe punishment? Bala, oh Allah, we want to know. Guide us. We go to another ayah where Allah Azza wa Jalla gives us some of those transactions. Remember, when you are selling yourself to Allah Azza wa Jalla, the ultimate goal will be, or the ultimate destination is Al-Jannah. Here is the proof. Allah Azza wa Jalla says in Surah Fatir, إِنَّ الَّذِينَ يَتْلُونَ كِتَابَ اللَّهِ وَأَقَامُوا الصَّلَاةَ وأنفقوا مما رزقناهم سرا وعلانية يرجون تجارة لن تبور. هذه هي التجارة الرابحة، ليوفيهم أجورهم ويزيدهم من فضله إنه غفور شكور. The business that never goes south, meaning never goes bad. تجارة لا تكسب، تجارة رابحة. These three types of businesses, you never lose. Allah Azza wa Jalla mentions three things: تلاوة القرآن, إقام الصلاة, والإنفاق. Three things. تلاوة القرآن, Allah Azza wa Jalla did not say إن الذين يقرؤون. He said إن الذين يتلون, واستعمل الفعل المضارع, meaning continuously, all the time. They are reciting the book of Allah Azza wa Jalla, but he used the term tilawa instead of qira'ah. علماء التفسير said لأن التلاوة أعم من القراءة, because the tilawa is more comprehensive. Tilawa is two types. Qira'ah is read, but tilawa is two types: قراءة لفظية وقراءة عملية. There is a verbal recitation, which is when we read Quran. That is one type. And the second type is through actions, meaning they recite the book of Allah Azza wa Jalla and then they follow the recommendations in the book of Allah Azza wa Jalla. They abstain from the prohibitions. They stay away from that which Allah Azza wa Jalla said don't. And then they believe. التصديق يصدقون. We believe there is Jannah. We believe there is a reckoning. We believe that there is hellfire. All of that mentioned in the Quran. That's where Allah Azza wa Jalla used the term يتلون. And then وأقاموا الصلاة. And they established salah. And you know how salah must be established. And the third thing he mentioned, and that's the main reason why we came here today. And we want to thank all the community and the brothers in charge to allow our Masjid al-Firdaus, to come here and seek your kindness and your generosity to help us finish the project that we started a few months ago. Okay? I'll elaborate more towards the second khoudba, inshallah. For Allah Azza wa Jalla says, the other type of business that never goes bad is spending in Allah Azza wa Jalla's cause. وهذا يدخل فيه الزكاة الواجبة, that we know, the obligatory charity, and the regular, the optional charity also. For Allah Azza wa Jalla is telling us, when you invest with me, you never lose. You never lose. Okay? Because he sallallahu alayhi wa sallam told us in another authentic hadith, when the son of Adam dies, then his actions come to a halt, except from three different ways. The first way that he mentioned is a running charity. You leave something behind. Okay? Many of us will have trouble keeping up with recitation of the Quran and following the principles and the guidelines. We all break the rules. We're humans. And we will all have difficulty keeping up with the salah. But when it comes to spending, it could be one time that you're going to spend something for the sake of Allah Azza wa Jalla, and it's going to stay behind. And when you leave this world, it will keep generating good deeds for you. Perhaps, and Allah Azza wa Jalla knows, it could be this one. But it is an open invitation to everyone to be part of this noble project, which is building a house of Allah Azza wa Jalla in the Palm Beach area. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم فاستغفروه إنه غفور رحيم. بسم الله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه. أما بعد, dear brothers and sisters of Islam, Allah Azza wa Jal will good for us to bring us to His house at this time on a day of Friday. And Allah Azza wa Jal will for us to be here and hear these words and this invitation to invest with Allah Azza wa Jal. And remember, this is the business that never goes bad when you invest with Allah Azza wa Jal. And here we're talking specifically about spending. I have been going to Masjid al-Firdaus in West Palm Beach since 2011. We kept moving from one side to the other. We rented the place for $3,500 a month. Then when the plaza was purchased, we got kicked out. Then we had to keep establishing Salat al-Jum'ah in a hotel. By the time the house was purchased back in 2012, alhamdulillah, that house was turned into a masjid. But it's a small house. Alhamdulillah, the lot is 1 acre. But then the last few years, and specifically right after the pandemic, the community grew enormously and so fast. As I joke with the brothers, because of the lockdown, a lot of brothers, they stayed home and they kept popping kids. By the time 2 years is done, the lockdown is done, we have a lot more people coming. The most difficult, challenging problem is the parking. That's why we had to look into buying something else. We looked into churches, we couldn't find anything in that area. Then a lot of 5 acres and a prime location showed up. And we were, alhamdulillah, by the grace of Allah Azza wa Jalla, fortunate that the owner was willing to do owner financing. So he financed the property for 3 years, from March 2023 all the way until March 2026. The lot itself, as I said, is in prime location, in the heart of West Palm Beach. Okay, and that is the last 5 acre lot in that area that is available. It was purchased for $2.3 million. Okay, the down payment was $700,000. It was paid, alhamdulillah, and now so far we have collected $700,000 more, which means the balance would be about $900,000. We still own the masjid, the house where the masjid is now. It was purchased for $100,000 back in 2012. Now, give or take, probably it will be listed in the market for $400,000. And now we are working hard to raise the rest of the money. And because of the owner financing, the owner gave us a good deal, because we pay $700,000, then the balance at the end, which is $1.6. However, it came with a cost, which is $9,000 every month. That should be paid for the 36 months that he financed the property for us. So that will add another $326,000 to the cost. Okay? So if the balance is 1.6, that means it will be 1.9. Alhamdulillah, there are good signs that things are going the way we would love to. However, it will be wise to come and have our close communities to be part of this. Because at the end of the day, the masjid is already waqf for Allah Azza wa Jal. It belongs to Allah Azza wa Jal. So make sure that before you leave, even if it's $1, رب درهم سبق ألف دينار. If that's the right saying. It could be that dollar could be worth a lot more than whoever gave $100,000. You never know. وَلَا تَحْقِرَنَّ مِنَ الْمَعْرُوفِ شَيْئًا. The Prophet ﷺ said, do not underestimate any good deed. Because you just don't know. A man removed a branch from the path of others. Allah Azza wa Jalla forgave all his sins and admitted him to Jannah. This is just removing harmful object from the path of others. And we know that he sallallahu alayhi wa sallam told us the lowest level of an iman is imatatul adha anil tariq. Imagine if the lowest level of iman will get you to Jannah. What about something that is higher than that? So we ask Allah Azza wa Jalla to give us the success and help us fight our nufus and our thoughts and our shaitan for not allowing us to be part of such thing. I'll finish with this. Abdullah ibn Mas'ud radiyallahu anhu, he used to say, ما أصبح أحد من الناس إلا وهو ضيف وماله عارية فالضيف مرتحل والعارية مؤداه. This is one of the students of the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, kibar ulama as-sahaba. This athar goes all the way back to him. He said, there is no morning that someone would reach, but he is a guest, and his wealth is alone, ariya. What he means by that? He means that sooner or later we will leave this world. We will leave this world. No one will stay forever in this world. We will all die. And then whatever we have, Allah Azza wa Jalla entrusted us with it. That's all. Then he said, فَالضَّيْفُ مُرْتَحِلٌ. That guest, he will leave at some point. He's referring to death. وَالْعَارِيَةِ, that which we have, that is a loan from Allah Azza wa Jalla, we will give it back. So nothing belongs to us at the end of the day. Might as well take some from it and put it with Allah Azza wa Jalla. Invest it with Allah Azza wa Jalla. And perhaps that's what will brighten our faces on the day of judgment. Please, after the prayer, if you can stick around for 5-10 minutes, inshallah, we'll ask for your generosity. We'll ask from you to participate and contribute in this noble project that is the house of Allah Azza wa Jal. And then may Allah Azza wa Jal accept from all of us. اللهم انصر الإسلام والمسلمين وأذل الشرك والمشركين اللهم عليك بأعداء الدين اللهم عليك بالمنافقين فإنهم لا يعجزونك عباد الله إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم وارض اللهم عن الخلفاء الراشدين أبي بكر وعمر وعثمان وعلي وارض اللهم عن الصحابة أجمعين. Whatever I said, it's from Allah Azza wa Jal, and whatever I said, it's from myself and from the shaitan. وأعوذ بالله أذكركم به وأنساه وأعوذ بالله أن أكون جسرا تعبرون عليه إلى الجنة ويقذف به في النار وأقم الصلاة.